Are we live?
Yep.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Cool. I love that, like, we have a great setup now for live, and I still enter it in a weird way, and we're still like,
You got to keep it real.
yeah, it's nice. Welcome.
We're not.
We're live.
Yeah.
Welcome to our next Filabot Live, where we are comparing the EX2 and the EX6. Two very different machines, and a lot of questions around them. And we wanted to show you, well, really discuss the differences. We aren't going to have them running today, but because they look so good, it'll still be a great video.
Well, and let's be honest. Watching these things extrude filament, it's slightly better than paint drying.
A little bit.
I mean, to a certain degree, filament is filament,
Right.
but they do filament differerly.
They do, in a few different ways.
Yeah.
One of them is, I tried to show here, we have two stacks of spools, and that's probably the biggest difference with the whole, with both systems, is that the EX2 can do 1 pound an hour, so this is about 1 pound of filament, and this is 10 pounds of filament. 1, 2, 3. Okay, phew.
Yeah.
I actually didn't count before I loaded it up.
I counted them as you were saying it.
Okay.
I was, because I didn't realize that's what you were doing. I thought it was just a crazy stack of filament that was supposed to get dispersed around the table.
No.
Okay.
I hope it looks, yeah, it looks all right. So yeah, so this will, this is what an EX6 can make in an hour, and this is what EX2 can make in an hour.
And that's part of the history of the EX6, right? Is that, you know, we were making filament internally,
Right.
and we needed to make more filament faster for our customers.
Right.
So we made the EX6.
So that we
And
could make more.
Then we started selling the EX6.
Right. And then the other difference, another key difference is the different types of polymers that these two systems can use.
Sure.
So the EX2 can work with a lot lower range, or a shorter, narrower range of plastics, where the EX6 can do a wider range, materials that have a higher viscosity. We have some cheat sheets.
I made the cheat sheet, so I'm making sure he uses it.
Nice.
So I feel validated.
All right, well, in that case, I'll run through the materials listed. So the EX6 can do all the polymers that our previous systems can do, plus more. It can do PEEK, Ultem, nylon, HDPE, PETG, wax, and from low to high melt flow polymers. The thing we do want to keep in mind is that there's all these plastic grades, so the ABS, HDPE, LDPE, they all have different melt flows. There is a point that all of our systems can't do certain melt flows or over a certain number, but the EX6, you know, takes that wider range and can go further. So we do recommend, if you have questions on a specific material, send us the grade of the material, send us the data sheet, and we'll take a look and let you know what version of our systems would work the best.
And of course, if somebody has something custom, we can do the extrusion testing.
Right, and we have the extrusion testing, so like if you have a material and you want to send it in and, you know, figure out what system, we can actually run it through these systems where you don't have to go and just buy one of these systems and hope that it works. We'll figure that out for you.
We'd love you to, but at the same time,
They're pretty.
we want you to be, we'd rather have you happy that you bought an EX2
versus
rather
putting
than
in
buying an
the extra.
EX6 and wondering, did I need to spend? Because, you know what, there's a price difference, and it's not a small one.
No. So that's the other thing. This system is definitely geared towards R&D, facilities, labs, research places, people who are working with new polymers that need this higher output and higher temperatures and more temperature control. So I don't know if we can see that. We've outlined this in previous videos. Might as well go over it again. You see, this might get dangerous.
Here, you want me to hold it and you want to point?
Yeah.
Okay.
This cover might fall off. Okay, so I'm kind of, I'll just look here. We have 4 temperature controllers here. And then we have fan systems for each temperature zone. So inside of here, maybe at some point we should take the side off. At some point I'll take the side off and show you where the heat zones are. But basically there's 4 heat zones all the way from the feed throat all the way up to, we should have shut the heater off.
Yep.
Can you go shut the heater off? Okay, I'll go shut the heater off.
No, I'll get it. You keep talking.
Okay, I got it. Sorry for the noise disturbance. Anyway, 4 temperature zones across from the hopper all the way up to the front of the nozzle, and those are also independently sectioned off compared to the EX2. Should be a switch on the side. EX2 only has 1 temperature zone. So that's towards the front of the unit. The hopper is not temp controlled, where the EX6 does have a temp controlled hopper. Yeah, all right, redundancy.
Hey,
Great.
I don't know how to turn heaters off, apparently.
Me neither.
It's fine.
So yeah, that's a big improvement, having this more temperature control on the EX6 compared to the EX2. We can have some really interesting temp profiles. So where this system, the temperature kind of, it's low, and then you taper it up, and then that's pretty much all you have. But with the EX6, you can have some really cool temperature profiles where you have an elevated temperature in your feed throat. It could get hotter, the middle zone could drop down, and then your nozzle could be hotter. I think Josh runs it with the middle zone hottest, and then the nozzle and the rear zone are cool. So, we're going like this. I don't
And
know.
what is having those different temperature zones, being able to set them to different temperatures do? Like, is that greater variability in the type of plastic you can extrude, or the quality, or both?
It's both.
Okay.
Really what happens is, as this is actually EX6 screw, and we'll get to why it's out of the machine in a second. But with the heat zones, broken out over the screw, what happens is as your plastic melts, there's certain times when you want it to melt either quicker, or like if you have an additive and you need it to be into the plastic molten right away, you can have these different temperature zones to function in different ways. Where, the EX2, it'll work, but you just don't have that control.
Right. And it's really what it's about. It's not that the EX2 is bad.
No.
It's not that we developed this and we've
Right.
forgotten about this. It's, it's that this does more. It's more control. It's more
Right.
granularity. It's
Better. It's
More options.
More options, yes. We have a great list on our website of the different polymers that each system can do. One system that you might be able to see in the background is our Filabot Original. That is also listed on the website, what polymers that can do. Speed control, we didn't go over that. We'll go over that and then we'll do the screw.
okay.
The EX2 and the EX6 have a speed control, so it's just a knob on top, and what that does is change the voltage, speed of the motor, which then turns the feed screw. Really nice thing to have. We love it. It really allows you to dial in the diameter of your filament and get the right speed. So a lot of times you aren't running these systems at max speed. You have to find that happy medium with temperature, with temperature and speed. Yeah,
More control, more options.
more options. Yeah,
Flexibility, that's the word I was looking for.
that's a good one. That's a good word. It's so weird seeing myself on a screen right there.
Don't
Anyway.
look at the screen.
Cool. Let's talk about the screw. This is a really important piece and something that we really wanted the EX6 to have. The EX2, the screw is inside, and we don't have the screw on the table because the EX6 or EX2 screw, cannot come out of the system. It's bolted in there. We take it out when we service a unit. So if a customer has something jammed, a piece of metal or crazy polymer that just did some damage, we have to go in there, unloosen the couplers, pull the system apart, and get the screw out, either clean it or put a new one in. And that's something we don't want customers with this system to do. It kind of voids your warranty.
And by kind of, you mean it does.
Yeah, it does. It voids your warranty. Which is, we didn't like that. So the EX6 has this screw system, which you can see that's kind of a square. Let's see if the camera. Oh, that picks up pretty well. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a square drive on the back of it, and what you can do is take the nozzle out, shove the screw in, do your filament extrusion, and then you can take the screw out, get all the polymer off, get it clean. You can clean the barrel. The EX6 actually comes with all those cleanings. So I think it was an unboxing video we did. Do we have a question? You always smile when we have a question, so.
She's just smiling because this video is going great.
Sweet. Oh, don't say that. Now it's going to go bad.
No, it's not.
Okay.
The unboxing video, cleaning materials.
Unboxing video. We have gloves. We have a wire wheel brush that goes on the outside, well, into a drill that you can use and clean the outside of the screw. And then we have a barrel wire brush that you can use to clean the barrel. And really, that is so you can get all the polymer out. We know customers will be using the EX6 for crazy polymers and crazy mixtures, and those are bound to get messy. So being able to clean that and access the system is a key thing with the EX6 compared to the EX2. With the EX2, to clean this out, you know, you'd rely on purge material or the polymer that you're running, your next one. So I guess the EX2 could be more wasteful in like cleaning, where the EX6 is, you know, you're pulling it out, you're scraping it off, you're able to get in there and mechanically clean it.
Sure. But the folks that are using the EX2, they're not running the crazy compounds, they're not doing the R&D.
Right.
So the difference between the polymers that they're extruding, you know, today versus next week, it's not going to be as wide.
Right.
So that need to clean isn't going to be as critical, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we, like, playing with the EX2, we haven't had to take it apart in-house to like clean it as much, you know. When we're doing like research on, you know, improvements on the EX2, we'll clean it and really make sure we're like at the baseline again. But that's not like a common thing someone with an EX2 would need to do. So yeah, EX6 has a removable screw. The next thing that I want to bring up about the EX6 and removable screw is that these screws are upgradable. I don't know if this will show up in the video, but we have the screw flights, which go all the way up the screw, and that's that spiral center. Well, that's the spiral. And then at the base of that is a root. So it's very thin near the feed section, and then tapers and gets larger. No, it's okay. Did it go black?
Yeah, she was going to zoom in. But
But
I don't,
no, because we manually adjusted.
yeah.
Thank you, though. I appreciate that. It tapers up to a metering section, which is a lot thinner. So, you know, cold pellets going in, they start getting heated up, pressurized. They go into the metering section, and that's where it gets really pressurized and gets squirted out the nozzle. So we can have different profiles on the EX6. We provide
Different screw profiles.
Yeah, different screw profiles on the EX6. Currently, we only have a stock one, and the stock one is like designed to be a general purpose screw design. But we're looking at different screws with higher compression. So this would be for polymers that have higher, higher melt flow. Yes. Plastics that run more when they melt. We want to be able to, you have to have that higher compression to work with them. Some TPUs and TPEs will be playing with that. We can have mixing screws. We can have a whole range of screws that you know, are special to a polymer, like a polymer family that you are working with.
We have some neat stuff in development, it's just not ready.
Right. But yeah, that's the nice thing, is that the system, the EX6 platform that I've been like calling it, is a great place to start because of that upgradability. Yeah.
Okay.
What else we got?
Got a lot of stuff.
We got a lot. So this one, this weighs like 25, 30 pounds. The EX6 weighs 50, 60 pounds. It's pretty heavy. It's all there. It's all there. Both systems, actually all of our hardware comes with a 1-year warranty. And we really haven't had anyone have to like use the warranty because we've really built these machines to be rugged. And these are all steel machines. I guess there is some aluminum in it, but they're, you know, fully metal enclosures, full metal jacket. Really robust machines. Right, Kevin? Yay. What else we got?
When you talk about the robustness, one of the things for me is how long, you know, the runtime on this versus here. And, again, that goes back to part of the story on the EX6 versus the 2, right? So like,
Right, like
the 2 can run for, 4 hours at a time?
Yep.
And then it needs to cool off for how long?
I mean, I guess down to equilibrium, so like room temperature, so
A few hours?
yeah,
Okay. So you're probably getting, if you,
4 hours a day out of it, I guess.
okay.
Maybe 8, I mean, you could space it. And that's because, it's not because the components are weaker, it's just the design. So what happens is you get heat creep backwards, and we don't have a fan that's doing any active cooling. So as you get that heat creep, your pellets are performing differently, you're getting some changes. I mean, you could get in here and play with the speeds and temperatures to compensate, but with the EX6, they're really, because we have thermally isolated heat zones with the fans, all the PIDs, you're able to run it continuously.
So one of the questions somebody might ask in deciding between the two, they can answer themselves about how much filament they need. If I'm doing the math right on the EX2, we're looking at 12 to 24 pounds per day, whereas over here we're talking up to 240.
Yeah, a lot.
So if you're someone that needs a little bit of filament, you can do just fine with an EX2.
Yep.
But if you're someone that's got a ton of printers going, or just, they're running all the time or something, you may need the
Right.
added output over here.
Right. And the, going off that is like the EX6 is great for that research side of things, testing polymers, making sure that you can convert it into a filament. Some plastics can't really be converted right now into filament, and that's, one thing we're working on. But, once you've proven out the material, which you can do on both systems, the EX6 would be that perfect production machine where you could go and produce filament, for more testing or, smaller to larger batch runs of a filament.
Cool.
Both of these systems work with our Filabot Spooler. Our Filabot Spooler is kind of our universal system, which we do not have here. It's somewhere off in the shop. I walked off. Yeah.
Okay.
Filament sizes. Both systems can do 175 and 2.85. If you are looking for like custom, we've had a few customers ask like what's the max size. The EX6 can do a larger size because we have a higher pressure on it. The EX2, 2.85 is probably the max.
The highest you want to plan on.
Yeah. We aren't really sure what the highest is for the EX6, like the largest size. But we do know it can be higher. I'm going to venture and say like 4 millimeters
Okay.
for the EX6. Power consumption. So we have both systems have to be specially made. They're made at our factory for 110 or 220. So when you check out or when you place an order with us, you have to specify if you're using 110 volts. So, United States and, well, all the countries that use 110. And then 220 volts is the other one. Both single phase. The EX2 uses about 500 watts. And then the EX6 uses about 1500. Is that right?
Yeah.
Good. Sweet. Yeah. So
Okay.
still pretty efficient systems for the output you get. We have awesome insulation on both systems, which is this piece here, and it really ties in with our systems being a recycling unit and then also not consuming excess amounts of power.
So if somebody's watching and they've listened to what we've said, maybe they've gone to the filabot.com, they've checked out some of the resources we have there to help them decide which unit would be best for them, but they still have questions,
What can they do?
what can they do?
They can do quite a few things.
Okay.
They could give us a call. They could give us only calls if they wanted to. They can.
There's a
send
dog
us
behind the camera now. We're just slightly
being
distracted.
held like a little baby. You should bring him over. Okay. Well, they can send us an email. We have a bunch of team members who are able to help and assist through email. We have social media channels that we're monitoring, I can't even say it, looking at and making sure that as people ask questions, we're answering them. A lot of times we'll take those questions and turn them into a live video. So if someone, they were wondering about, now I can't remember. They were wondering about something and we made it into a live video.
We've done a bunch of live videos. It's okay.
We've done a
I
lot.
can't remember them all.
It's great.
I certainly don't.
Yeah, if anyone has anything they want to see in a live video, we would love to hear it. And we'll set it up.
But for folks that have further questions, I might venture that email is the best method, because then we can send you back materials, and while we do have phone support, it's not 24/7.
Right.
We do tend to get to emails more frequently than
Yep.
we're going to answer the phone. And of course, we have plenty of documents. I mean, there's a lot on the website, and sometimes
There's
it's
a
hard to
lot.
find all of it. So if you have a question, if you email us, we can probably send you that information back,
Point you in the right direction.
give you a link or something like that.
Yeah. Well, sweet. Do you have anything else that we should add that we missed?
Not that I know of. I mean, we handled everything that we had in our notes, and
Oh, I guess one thing that I
Oh,
should have said, I
sure.
do.
Uh-oh.
Just looking at the EX6,
Yeah.
right? We have two gauges on top. One's a DC volt and a DC amps.
I thought those were just there because they look cool.
Well, that
Analog
too.
gauges are a lot of fun.
Right. We actually went with analog because we can see the movement of the power going to the motor. And what that does is allow you to troubleshoot whether your temperature is too low, too high, and just see what the issue is. So it's really nice to have those analog. They're older technology, but they're there because you can actually see it. Whereas if you just had a digital readout, you just see these number fluctuations that may not look like they're following a pattern.
Right.
So super helpful with that DC.
There's a lot of
amps.
thought in this unit.
Yeah,
We took everything we knew about this, and then we added.
made it 6 times better.
Then why isn't it the EX12?
Oh, okay. Well, we multiplied some number to make it the EX6.
3.
Yeah. Math.
We should probably stop. We're
Yeah,
getting
we
silly.
should.
All
Yeah,
right.
because I'm out of material here.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. Do we have any questions before we close? No?
Okay. Thanks for watching. Filabot.